Okay, so I want to make a video about Jupiter and astrology, what it represents, my views on it, and how I look at Jupiter whenever I see its place in a birth chart. At one point, I used to view Jupiter as the planet that represents wealth, but nowadays I don't view it as an indicator of wealth. But Jupiter could help you get wealth depending on where it's placed. And I'll explain the difference right now. Jupiter represents new opportunities, and new opportunities gives us growth. It gives us optimism, expansion. The reason why, let's say you worked at a job for 20 years and you always wanted a new job or you always wanted a promotion. What Jupiter does is it'll give a new opportunity. So let's say you are that individual that wants a promotion and you have Jupiter placed in your 10th house or transits your 10th house, then obviously new opportunities regarding career can happen. And once you get these new opportunities, such as promotion, what happens next? You become more optimistic. You become excited. You feel, you see the new bright side. You realize that the grass is truly greener on the other side. This is why I don't relate Jupiter to wealth anymore. Yes, luck and fortune that Jupiter also represents. Luck and fortune really truly only comes through having new opportunities. And this is the major thing that I focus on when it comes to Jupiter. Not the luck or the fortune stuff, but the new opportunities that Jupiter gives or brings wherever it is placed. For females, and I don't know if it's the same for homosexual males, but Jupiter represents husband. So the sign Jupiter is in can describe your husband, but I don't focus on the sign Jupiter is in to describe a person's husbands. I think that's very low mundane to do that because there are other methods where you can actually see your spouse's birth chart. Your spouse's birth chart is actually in your birth chart, believe it or not. This is why you could easily just look at your own personal birth chart, and a guy like me would know how to predict what's going on in your spouse's life in the present or even in the past. So I don't really recommend just looking at your Jupiter sign to identify how your spouse's characteristic traits. It could work, but I don't focus on that. So planets that are conjunct Jupiter or planets that are in the same sign Jupiter is in matters a lot. Believe me. Because if you have something like Rahu conjunct Jupiter, then that can show a person that has a very rebellious husband. Jupiter represents teachers, coaches, advisors, and consultants. So wherever Jupiter is placed in your birth chart will show where you like to teach people, who you like to teach things to. So for example, if you have Jupiter in your 11th house, then you're a person that likes to advise or consult friends regarding regarding what. That's when I would have to look at the birth chart. We all have that teaching side of us where we like to explain things to an individual. Jupiter represents beliefs and beliefs in anything. I mean, if you believe that waking up 9 a.m. every day is a great thing to do, that falls under the types of beliefs that Jupiter represents. It could even be religious beliefs. Yes, Jupiter represents religions in astrology. So planets conjunct Jupiter can detail a lot about your religious beliefs. Then you have to remember Jupiter represents Pisces, not just the Sagittarius sign. So, depending on where your Jupiter is placed, it can not only influence how you view religions, but it would also influence how you feel about spirituality. Then you can sort of look to Jupiter for higher education. When it comes to higher education, I prefer looking at the ninth and the third house. But since the ninth house is originally ruled by Sagittarius, which is Jupiter, Jupiter's placement can obviously still have a slight effect on your higher education in this lifetime. Higher education in astrology is just simply a topic, course, or even a college course. Even books that you may buy and read regarding one particular topic. And this topic is something that you study all throughout life, so you gain more higher knowledge, higher education about it. Hence why Jupiter relates to teachers and teachings, etc. I forgot to chime in on the morals that Jupiter represents. Yes, for sure, Jupiter represents morals. This is why those, let's say, gurus in India, they take morals very seriously, and these tend to be like yogis and stuff like that. Those gurus you see in those countries or cities like that they have in India, those would be the human embodiment of what Jupiter represents. Those guys who like to sit down and meditate and then they come out and teach people, those Buddhists. Another human embodiment of Jupiter would just simply be teachers at school, or perhaps when you go to an insurance company, they have insurance agents that give you free advisement or consultation. So consultants can also be an embodiment of what Jupiter represents. This is why people with a Jupiter Mars conjunction can be those people that become aggressive about their beliefs, and their beliefs could be about anything. They are willing to fight, protest, go to war over their beliefs. People with a Jupiter Ketu conjunction can lack a lot of morals and beliefs in things.